Hello YouTube, welcome to the channel. Now then, before we get into the video, I just want to take this opportunity to wish everybody out there a very happy new year. A big thank you for all the support you gave this channel during 2023, and I hope everybody out there has a cracking 2024. Anyway, on with the video, and the subject of today's video is this thing. It's a WPL C54-1. Now, I've been dying to get my hands on one of these for a little while because I want to see what the differences are between the -1 and the ordinary C54, C24, C14. Because I know that WPL have made some improvements, whether they are improvements or not, I don't know. But they made some improvements to the stock truck. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take one of these apart and have a good look around it. Now, the particular version we've got here is the RTR, which is basically the ready to run one. It's 1/16 scale. You can pick these things up for about 55 quid here in the UK, which is probably about $65 approximately. I'm not sure if you can get a kit version of them at the moment, which you probably can actually off WPL's website. But this one is the RTR with the transmitter and all the electronics. So anyway, enough waffle. Let's crack the box open and see what we get. Then in the box we get our instructions, and these basically tell you what fittings go where on the body. We get a little packet of accessories, which looks like a roof rack basically. We get another bag, and that looks like it's got that little tool to open the bonnet, a screwdriver, a USB battery charger, and some basically accessories for the body. We get a spare wheel. You get quite a few accessories. Whatever you say about WPL, you do get quite a few extra bits and pieces. You get some running boards for the chassis, and there's your first clue that something's different. A spare tyre, and a load of other accessories for the body. And last but not least, we get another bag of accessories for the body. And this is the version. This is the version that has all the fancy sort of protection up the bonnet, and has those bull bars on the front of the truck. I think on the instructions is that one there. So you can buy the two different versions. That one version comes with all these extra bits and pieces. The other version obviously just comes with normal roof rack and a snorkel, etc. We've also got the transmitter, and this is a ubiquitous WPL item. Bit cheap, bit plasticky, bit nasty, but I tell you what, they do the job, and they've stuck with these things for years now, haven't they? I think it might be about time that they give us a nicer controller, but I dare say if they did, the price would probably go up. And last but not least, we've actually got the truck itself. Now, whatever else you say about WPL, they do make a nice 1/16 scale truck. And this C54 is no exception. I do like the red colour. It does look mint, and do you know, for the price, some of these bodies, if you went out and bought a little 1/16 scale hard body for something, you'd be paying 40-50 quid for it, let alone getting the rest of the truck with it. So from that standpoint, WPL do make, they are value for money, I'm not going to lie. And this thing looks the business. Obviously it's a Toyota Land Cruiser, but I mean, it's a lovely little scale looking truck. I mean, the battery lives in the front here, and if we open him up, we didn't need the tool then either. We have one of their batteries, which is 500 mAh, 7.4 volts, 2S. I've noticed that a lot of manufacturers now are swapping over to these horrible 4-pin connectors, ditching the old 2-pin ones. So if you've got if you've got loads of 2-pin connectors, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to use it with this truck. But anyway, outwardly, it looks the same as a normal C54. The first thing you notice that is different is actual tyres. Now, they are quite firm and hard, but these are a completely different tread pattern than the normal ones. But most of the important changes are actually underneath the body. Right then, now that the bodywork is off, we can really appreciate the differences between the C54-1 and the normal C54, C24, etc. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, apart from the actual axles themselves, I can't see any other similar parts on this thing to the normal C54, C24, C14, etc. I mean, the chassis is completely different. They've got different shock absorbers on, which seem a little bit more sophisticated. Perhaps, not as soft or just as hard as the others, but they do seem a little bit more sophisticated. We've got these tie rods for the axles themselves. These are specific to this model, or they might be specific to this chassis, I should say. We've even got some sort of a tie bar here to the bodywork, like you get on the C54-C44. So we've got same sort of chassis mounted steering servo, but it's completely different up front. This is a completely different mounting for the servo. Even down to the drive shafts possibly look like longer units to accommodate the the new motor and gearbox combo. This is the 260 motor and gearbox combo, and we've got contra-rotating outputs on the. If I can rotate it for you there, they rotate basically in different directions, so cancel out any torque steer. Even down to I thought just the tyres were different, but there's actually new rims on these as well. And the whole thing sort of sits a little bit higher up off the ground, and there's a little bit more ground clearance under there as well. Tell you what, if you put portal axles on this thing, it would have some proper decent ground clearance. Even down to the actual ESC and receiver board. I mean, this thing looks completely different from the normal WPL board. Now, I've heard some complaints about this, especially and complaints with regards to the 260 motor, saying that it's not as good as the 180, or it doesn't provide as much low down power modulation. But we might have a little test of that. But this thing, it looks completely brand new. It looks nothing like your normal sort of WPL fare. It looks more like a, dare I say, MND99 underneath. Let's go and try it. Now, one of the criticisms I have heard levelled at this thing is the low down sort of modulation or controllability isn't as good as the 180, and that the ESC is particularly noisy. I must admit, I haven't noticed that so far, but I tell you what we'll do, we'll try and get it to go up the sofa of death here. The wife doesn't watch any of my videos, so quite safe from that standpoint. But let's see if we can get it to climb these these pillows. Hang on. I mean, you'd have to give it a decent pull on the old trigger. But it seems to be doing it. I mean, I must admit... Oh, now we have got stuck. Yeah, does seem... Now, I haven't charged the battery fully, so that could be why it's struggling a bit here. Oh, I say... Doesn't like that, does it? No, it's not going to do it. Let's try, it might be my fault, let's try charging the battery fully. Right, I've actually fully charged the battery this time. Let's give it another go, see if it'll do it. Oh, that's better. Oh. That was a little bit too steep for it, I must admit. I've added a pillow to make it a little less severe. Let's have another go. Oh, that's much better. What's it like coming back down? Ah, easy. So there you have it, the C54-1, significantly different from the ordinary C54 and the C14, C24, etc. In fact, I think the only thing that is the same on this thing is the body and the axle. I think everything else is new, basically, well, apart from the transmitter as well. Incidentally, I did notice that you did have to give it a good tug on the old trigger there to get it to do anything, so possibly low down modulation isn't brilliant. WPL do a really good cheap ESC though that I've tested, and that was fantastic actually. The low down modulation on that was brilliant. I can imagine there's a little trail truck, just some light to moderate trail use. I think this thing will be fine. If you want to go rock crawling or anything like that, then you'll probably want to mod it. But that's the beauty of WPLs. You start with a reasonable base and you can mod it to suit basically. Anyway, if you found this video of some use and interest, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you're feeling that way inclined, hit that subscribe button for more similar future content. Once again, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again very soon. Thank you.